Hello and welcome to my craft room. My name is Michelle Wells. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from Tasmania, Australia. Thanks for joining me for Fun Fold Friday. Today I'm going to create a cute card. So, alrighty, we'll get started. So, these are the products that I'm using. So, I'm going to use the stylish shaped dies. So, I've got everything pre-cut, but I just want to go through what I use. So I use this one here, and I use the larger one here on the card that I'm going to show. And I'm also using, today I'm going to use the Happy Birthday, and I've already pre-stamped that out of the One Happy Family. And I'm going to use In the Moment, and I've already used this stamp one here, so I'm going to use this stamp here. So I'm going to show you the card that I created. So I'm going to make this card here, which is called a Bendy card. So, and it folds flat to go in the mail, but you open it up and it just sits up like that. So we're going to create this card today. So I'm going to show you how I did it. So I'm going to pop that up there. So like I said, I've already got most of my pieces all pre-cut, so I'm just going to go through all the scoring. So, and I'll have all the measurements to all these pieces on the below the video. So alright, so I'm going to get started. So first up, I'm going to glue these two pieces together. This one here, I used the other side of here, like this DSP. So I've decided I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do a different one. And I actually used a cut off piece of this one here when I was doing it to create this one. So I just used the reverse side of that one to create that. But this time I'm going to use a piece of cardstock, and it's the same as the what is it called? Early Espresso. So I'm going to use Early Espresso today, and I'm going to do this one a little bit different, but I'm going to have all the measurements in below the video. So I'm going to grab my glue first up, and it's over there. So I'm just going to glue this piece to my Early Espresso. So, and I had to do my video like pre-recorded today because I've got so much to do. I've got to go and pick up my grandsons and so from school today, and I've got them for the whole weekend. So what I'm doing is I'm just gluing that to my cardstock. So, and I'm going to pop that there. And once you've got it down, give it make sure it's stuck down. So, and hopefully I didn't bump the camera then. So once I've got that down, I am going to bring out my score. I'm going to bring my scoring tool out, my Simply Score. So I'm just going to pop those out of the way. I'm going to pop this one into here, and I'm going to score. I'm going to grab my, hopefully I'm in view. So doing pre-recorded sometimes. So I'm going to pop that, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to score this here at 2, and it's 2 3/4. I think so, 2 3/4. So 2 3/4 is, I've got half there. So I'm just going to score that at 2 3/4, and that should be your half. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold that over and hopefully put it up in there, and I'm just going to give that, and I've lost my bone folder in this mess, would you believe? So, but that's okay. So then you'll have that piece there. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab my white piece here, and this piece here, I'm going to score on either end, so with your 5-inch side there. So I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch, and then 4.5. And sometimes using the simply score is a lot easier than trying to line it up and with your. So I've done that piece, and then I'm going to grab my this piece is 1 by 6.5, so I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to do 1/2 inch on that side. So you've got 1/2 inch turned around and 1/2 inch, and then your white piece you score at 1/2 and 4.5, and then your 2 pieces that are glued together, you score that at 2 3/4. So that's all we need to do with the scoring tool. So I'm going to pop that back down there, and hopefully I'll put it down there without making too much noise. So what we're going to do now is I've got all those pieces and I've already done my happy birthday, my little banner, so I'm going to leave that up there. So I'm just going to crease all these, and I don't need to do that one. Actually, I might do that one first, just give them a burnish. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp on this one here. I've stamped the image on the inside, so I'm going to stamp this image here, and I'm going to do a little bit of colouring in. So, and I need my Memento black ink to ink that up first, so I'm just going to ink that up, and hopefully I'm not gone up the page. So I'm just going to ink that up, and hopefully I've got that all. I'll just give that another, and make sure the hair. Okay, if I muck it up, I'll just flip it over and you won't see behind. This will be my sample. So I'm just going to pop this and try to line it up in between those. And I'm going to take it up just a little bit higher. So I'm trying to grab that, and I think that's about where I want it. So hopefully I've gone up enough, and that's pretty good. So I'll pop that over there. So I'm going to bring in, and I know one colour that I didn't bring in. Actually, I wonder if I can whip over there and get that. I might be able to. I'm just going to, oh, I knew I'd do that. So I'm just going to duck over and grab the real red, or what's that one? I'm just going to go with that one, light cherry cobbler. So, and I've bumped the table again. Sorry about that. So, making sure that so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start colouring in, and I'm going to go with my my dark and light Orchid Oasis. So I'm going to do her whole dress in. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to grab the. So this one here, I'm just going to her dress, and that's going to be the same colour. So I'm just going around all those lines there, and I'm just going to pop a little bit there, and then I'm just going to bring in my light one, and I'm just going to go, hopefully I don't go over the lines. So, and I'm just going to colour in that dress. I always go quiet when I'm colouring in. Okay. And there's enough down there, and then maybe I'll go back to that. Just blend it in a little bit more, and I quite like this colour. It's a beautiful colour. So, and I might go back with the dark, and I'm just going to colour this part here with the darker, sort of just give that a bit darker. And because I don't want it as a belt, I just want this as a full dress. So that's that part there. Then I'm going to bring in my dark, I think I've got the light light cherry cobbler, and I'm just going to do just in that wine glass. So she's got half a wine there. And then the light one, I'm just going to come back and I'm just going to do her hat, because everything's got to be matching. So, and I'm just going to do this in the light colour. And if you wanted to, you can go back and do so. And then her skin colour, I'm going to use so it's SU600, so it's one of the like the different tones of colours, that like skin tone colours we've got. I think this is the one I used. Or did I have a lighter one? Actually, no. I think I used that one. I used the SU800. So I'm going to try that one. And that's the one I used. So I'm just going to do her skin colour with that one. And okay. And then up here, I could have went lighter, but this is the lightest one, and this is sort of the same as my skin colour, probably a little bit. It does calm down once it's coloured when you put it in. So that's that there. And then I use the crumb cake. I had used the dark crumb cake on the other one, but I used this one. I'm going to use this for the fence, like for the rail. So, and I might do that all too. Okay. I'm just going to do the rail down here. There's not much left to do. I'm not going to colour her hair. I just like how it is. So, and then that's that part there done. And I'm not going to do any more to the wine glass. I'm going to leave that. So, and I think that's about it that I need to do. I'm just going to have a little look. No, I'm going to leave the birds as they are. So now what I'm going to do is, and I've folded that the wrong way. So, and I need to take them back there. So what we need to do now is grab this piece here. And this piece is going to be like these little flaps are bent over, folded over. So this is going to sit on top of here. And we're going to line, before we do that, I forgot one thing we need to do. So before you pop it on there, we need to score the center of this. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard back again, and I did have that make a noise a second ago. So I'm going to pop this in here, and because this is 5, we're going to score it at 2.5. So I'm just going to go 2.5. I'm just going to score that down the middle, and that's all we need to do now. So I'm just going to move that, and I'm going to lay that down because I'll end up knocking that around. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to fold that in half and just give that a crease. And the reason why I done that is because I coloured it in. I wanted to colour it in first before, and I've seen this on another video as well. So now that crease there is going to line up with that crease there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our glue, and we're just going to just run a little bit, maybe with a little bit, just run a little bit there, and if you feel comfortable doing, don't feel comfortable doing it like the whole lot, you can do one side and one side, or you can use some tear tape. So I'm just going to get rid of that glue. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this down here so I can see it, and I'm just going to sort of press those down, and I'm going to line that up with that center, and sort of, and making sure you've got it, and I'm quite happy with that being, oh, not that far over. So I'm just lining it up with that center and making sure that I've got it lined up. So okay, and that's lined up with that center, because you're not going to close this card, like it's always just going to open, and it's just going to lay flat for mailing. So I'm happy with that, I think. Yep, if I am. So once you've got it, just give it a good crease down, and okay, and then there is our card starting to take shape. So what we're going to do now is this piece here is going to go on there like that. So I just wanted to see whether I liked it with, but I may need to, that's an idea, that strip that I cut off the other piece, that might look alright on there. I don't know. I don't think, no, I think I might just leave that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some glue on this one. Before I do that, I want to glue, actually, I'm going to glue that into the center, so this piece here. So I'm going to glue that into the center before I put that on. So I'm just going to pop some glue on this. And you can put any sentiment you like, cut any shape out that's long that will fit there. So, okay, so I'm just going to pop that, hopefully, into the center. So, and a little bit over that way. Okay, looks good to me. So once you've got that down, give that a good press down. And then we're just going to pop some glue on either side. So I'm just going to do one at a time with this one. So, okay, trying to get that glue even. So I'm going to flatten this, and then I'm going to fold this piece down, and I'm going to pop that piece on the end there. So once I've got that, I had to go sideways because I wouldn't get it on there properly. And then I'm just going to push that down, and once you've got that there, give that a good rub down so it holds. And then this piece here will go, just glue straight down onto there, and I find it a lot easier than trying to get it both done together. So I'm just going to pop a little tiny bit of glue on that one. And now flatten it down and then just give that a push. You know that, you know that it's on there then. Okay, mine's probably gone a little bit. There you go. Okay. Yeah, just had to make sure it was straight down the bottom. So once you've got that, and that's, you've got that bit of a burnish down there, then when you open it, that goes like, you'll give that a little bit of a bend, and that gives you your little mechanism to stand up. So that's how it's looking so far. And but I quite like the way it's going. You could put some more on here, but I just didn't want to overdo it. But I just wanted to make this one as a birthday, so, and use that card as well. So, but alrighty. So then it'll fold flat, and when that folds flat, you can pop that into the mail like your envelope, and I'll show you that in a sec. But I'm going to grab my Take It Pick tool, and I'm just going to pop a couple of these little gems, and got a hair there, it's stuck. Oh no, I got it. So I'm just going to pop just this size here. I'm just going to pop one probably up there, and pop another one there, and I'm going to pop just a tiny little one. Do I want to have it there? Okay, I'll pop one there. So, and there you have it. So there's a quick little card. Move everything out of the way. Hopefully that's in view. Just have a quick look, and it's in view. Okay, so there is our little card, and if you wanted to, on the back you can flip it over and put a white piece on there if you like, to put your message. So, or I'm not really, I was thinking you could probably put a little tag or something in the back, but that's an idea, a little tag on the back, so, because that will bend a little bit too, but you can probably put a little, I did have one of those here the other day, but I think I've missed it. But instead of putting a whole sheet there, you could just probably put a little panel on the back here, and write your message like on there, or you can just put white and have it bend as well. So it's completely up to you. But if you use a lighter colour, you could just write the message on the back. But there is my Bendy card for today. I hope you like that one. So which one do you prefer, that one or that one? So that's like that, and then they just sit up like that. So, and they will fit into one of our envelopes, and I'll show you that. So this is just a mailing one, and hopefully they do after me telling you. So they'll just pop into an envelope like that, and then you can just mail them off. So, and there you go. Pop that down and pop your stamp on, and there you go. It mails flat. So, but a cute little card that like that, when you pop it up, it just sits up like that. So there you go. So if you have any questions, you would like to purchase any of these products, I'll have the links below and above this video. So yeah, and I'll have all the measurements as well. And if you would like to get a free printout of these with the measurements and that, I'll have that on my, I'll send an email with that out. So if you'd like to join my email list, I'll have all the details there as well. So alrighty then, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you give it a go, and I'll catch you all next time. Alrighty then, bye for now.